The time has come for my people to go.
I'm not a queen, I'm a servant of the people. I'm not a king, I'm a servant of the people. It's what the people demand. We gonna keep fighting till we get that land. I'm not a queen, I'm a servant of the people. I'm not a king, I'm a servant of the people. It's time to rise to get what we want. We got to organize.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Pantsula Podcast, brought to you by the All African People's Revolutionary Party. For those who are not familiar with the A-APRP, we were actually founded by Kwame Ture in 1968. And for those who are not familiar with our objective is Pan-Africanism. I know when I say Pan-Africanism, people have distorted views or other definitions of Pan-Africanism. So I'll go ahead and define how the A-APRP defines it. And we define it as a totally liberated, a unified Africa under scientific socialism, as defined in the Fifth Pan-African Congress. Today, I have my comrade with me, Jesse. And today we'll be talking about our upcoming event, which is African
Liberation Day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So actually this event will actually be hosted on the 23rd for Ghana and the 25th for everywhere else. So we're going to get into that. But before we do, we like to dedicate each episode to two of our ancestors, one being Denmark Vesey, the other one being Funmilayo Kuti. So I guess we'll get into kind of the history of ALD and the importance of it. So I'll go ahead and let my comrade Jesse kind of give a little overview of that, and then I'll chime in too as well.
So African Liberation Day, and I'm reading this from the website. This is going to be actually me and Jeffrey's first time participating actively in African Liberation Day, and I'm realizing more and more just in preparation for it, just how important this day is. And it was founded in 1958 when Kwame Nkrumah convened the first conference of independent states held in Accra, Ghana, and attended by 8 independent African states. The 15th of April was declared African Freedom Day to mark each year the onward progress of the liberation movement and to symbolize the determination of the people of Africa to free themselves from foreign domination and exploitation. And between 1958 and 1963, the nation-class struggle intensified in Africa and the world. 17 countries in Africa won their independence, and 1960 was proclaimed the Year of Africa. Further advances were made with the defeat of U.S. imperialism in Asia and the Caribbean. Imperialism responded to this tide of victories by assassinating revolutionary leaders and sending U.S. troops to Vietnam. On the 25th of May, 1963, 31 African heads of state convened a summon meeting to found the Organization of African Unity, OAU. They renamed African Freedom Day African Liberation Day and changed its date to May 25th. Since then, the world has witnessed the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X, the overthrow of Kwame Nkrumah, the U.S. invasion of Cuba, the U.S. move to crush liberation movements in Asia, Egypt, Syria, and Jordan, the overthrow of the Democratic Party of Guinea, the U.S. invasion of Grenada, the U.S. bombing of Libya, and the overthrow of Thomas Sankara and Burkina Faso. This period had marked a temporary setback for the Pan-African movement, and since 1966 was characterized by a lull in ALD activities. Neo-colonialism was imposed upon the people as the new stage of the capitalist imperialist strategy in Africa. And just to slow down a bit, because I know that's a lot I'm saying, but I think just to put the context of revolutionary leaders being assassinated and these governments being overthrown by U.S. imperialism, U.S. and European imperialism, it just puts in perspective the importance of this struggle. And also we should announce the theme, which is Forward Ever, to worldwide Pan-African unity. Because we believe, again, Africa, until Africa is free, no man on earth is going to be free. So no man, woman, marginalized gender, whoever you are, like if you're an African and you don't connect it to Africa, our freedom, Africa must unite. And
exactly.
when you look at all of the examples in history of the attempts to disturb organizations, which was all about organizing the people, like that's why this holiday is important, because we can continually fight toward this objective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for me, especially if you're African and you're consider yourself a revolutionary or someone who's looking for African Liberation Day, this should probably be the number one event on your list to engage in. I know Jamu says himself is like he doesn't really celebrate any other holiday but this one, which makes sense. And I know there's other members within the party who say the same thing or feel the same way. So, yeah, I think this is important for those who tie themselves to those radical politics of revolutionary Pan-Africanism. And this is a call to all Pan-Africanists and those who seek for Africa to be unified, and totally liberated, just as I stated as the definition of Pan-Africanism, under scientific socialism as well. So, this will be a perfect event for those who are looking to do that with that objective. Those who are looking to join an organization, this is our first time. So, we do welcome first timers too. You don't have to be, some astute scholar or someone, who's, everyone is all welcome. All Africans, we don't like to exclude any African, no matter what gender, no matter anything. If you're African, you're joining, but I guess the basis is you have to be African. So, that's one thing. So, I guess I'll talk about on the 23rd. I guess there's two panels we'll be having on the 23rd. The first one being galvanizing the world socialist movement for Pan-Africanism. The times looks like it will be 9 a.m. for LA. Then for Chicago, it'll be 11. New York, 12 p.m. In Guinea, which is the capital of Guinea, Conakry, 4 p.m. Johannesburg and Tanzania, 6 p.m. And in Kenya, Nairobi, 7 p.m. And then the second panel will be galvanizing women for Pan-Africanism. To be honest, it's not really clear on the time. It's just 5:30, which is, I believe, probably like 5:30, like Ghana time, because I think this one is primarily for Ghana. And then the second one will be May 25th, as I stated earlier, which will be 4 p.m. I think it is Ghana time as well, which is the thing for that one is galvanizing African revolutionary parties in power for Pan-Africanism. The times are pretty much the same that I stated on the first panel. 9 a.m. LA time, 11 Chicago, 12 New York, 4 p.m. Conakry, for Johannesburg is 6, and Nairobi is 7 p.m. So once again, just to state it out there, I don't know if people may be thinking or asking, this event is totally free. We're not, charging anybody. Once again, we're inviting all Africans to join us here. Those aren't the only ALD events as well. There's also one for Palestine, Free Palestine, Smash Zionism.
Smash Zionism, Free Palestine.
And Free Palestine, yeah. So that one will be taking place on May 22nd, between 12 and 3 Eastern Standard Time. So we'll put the link in the description for you guys to be able to join and register for the various events. I'll try to put as many, but I'll just put the link to the main site in the description. So, and when you go from there, you can toggle through and, click which one you want to register for and join us for this, what we call like edutainment. I'm sorry. Yeah, a lot of education.
There's going to be a lot of education. I'm really excited about these panels. Especially, galvanizing world socialist movement for Pan-African. I mean, all of them, galvanizing women for Pan-Africanism. I mean, because there's just a lot of misunderstanding about Pan-Africanism, and you hear a lot of people using that term. They may describe themselves as a Pan-African, but if they don't connect it to land, if this is not about Africa, then you're just getting a lot of confusion,
Exactly.
This is just going to be very helpful for a lot of people to just take a part of these panels and understand the connection and why we're celebrating it. It's also a day that it's encouraged for everyone to wear white because that's a symbol of unity in many parts of Africa. That's also the sign of celebration. So, you know, make sure you wear your white and just stand united. And it's amazing because, you know, African Liberation Day, seeing as it's one of those days that most Africans in America don't even celebrate.
Yeah.
We celebrate all these other holidays and all of these other days just meant to basically exploit our money for, or just get us to buy things and not really connected to just what our ancestors have been doing in the struggle they've waged against this system of capitalism and imperialism, and just the fight that is being waged, and why it's important for Africa to unite, because we're still under neo-colonial denomination. You know, you still got all of these forces out, and if people don't register with the importance of fighting against it, we're going to just assume that, oh, we can work within the system, as opposed to, you know, like, we're building a party, we're revolutionary, so we're trying to overthrow the system and create a better.
Exactly.
So, you know, just important to highlight that revolutionary aspect, that we're not, you know, there's a lot of reaction. A lot of people even might call themselves, again, Pan-African, but if you don't connect it to Africa, then you got it.
Or if you're looking to exclude certain demographics, you know, or certain sections of our population, that's not Pan-Africanism. You know, I don't know what Pan-African Congress you guys align your Pan-Africanism with,
right?
But I've read through a lot of them. I'm reading Pan-Africanism and Communism, and I have been reading that and various other Pan-Africanist content. And from what I know, I don't remember any of them saying, or any of the Pan-African conferences going on, you know, even, you know, in modern times, saying, hey, there's no queer people allowed, North Africans aren't allowed. I never heard that before. So the stuff that you guys are saying or trying to segment is a distortion. If I'm being honest, I'm just calling it what it is. And, you know, we're calling all Africans, you know, to join. And, you know, I think hopefully if you guys who have these jaded views on Pan-Africanism could join and understand and listen to Africans worldwide have, you know, give a real definition of what Pan-Africanism is, and not this, you know, mangled up, jangled up type stuff, mumbo jumbo you guys be spewing, which is not tied into the material conditions, or it doesn't really benefit anybody but yourself and some of your friends. You know what I mean? So, because, you know, you having a Pan-Africanist framework or objective with just cis hetero people and people who are atheists, and like, you guys are trying to create a cult. So we're Pan-Africanists. We're not sure. We're talking about getting political power for all Africans to be free. So no matter where they are, you know, they won't be dealing with being shot down, brutalized, you know, or exploited, you know, no matter where they are. You know, we're trying to advance humanity at the end of the day. And, you know, our basis is Africa. You know, we look at everything through the lens of Africa and how to help our people. But we also still tied in with other oppressed people. Hence why, you know, we stated free Palestine. So hopefully you guys could join too. We welcome all the reactionaries. We welcome all the Pan-Africanists. We welcome all y'all. You got everyone to join. Everyone. Yeah,
well,
so everyone needs that.
Solidarity briefly. There's a lot of solidarity. ALD has amassed from various liberation organizations. So I mean, it's not like, you know, this whole narrative that Africans don't have no friends and we the only ones and we struggling in a vacuum. That's just historically inaccurate. We can see through movements, not just African movements, like we briefly talked about in our work study today, you know, African for Black Lives, Yellow Pearl, different, you know, Asian solidarity organizations that stand with Africans. So like, there's, the history is there. Let's not be reactionary. Again, there's a difference between reactionary and revolutionary. We understand, you know, that there is solidarity being built among different other oppressed groups, because we recognize the system. We recognize the enemy as imperialism and capitalism. And, you know, it's not just about having a race analysis. You got to go deeper than that and connect it. So Just had to add that because there's just that confusion.
Exactly. Yeah. And literally like Jesse was stating, it's like there's a section on the site, as most of you who would go on the site and see, there's a section for solidarity statements. So, I know there's a lot of discourse. So the Palestinians don't they don't stand in solidarity with us. And then there's stuff from the Arab Resource and Organizing Center on here. You have stuff from Sahrawi Youth Union and, so forth and so on. There's just so many different people standing in solidarity with us. And I think I know there's a historical context too, to a lot of these people, in a lot of these places who are making these statements, in regards to them providing material aid or just standing in solidarity with African movements and our struggle for liberation. So yeah. So I guess I just wanted to kind of throw that in there. So yeah, we look forward to having y'all. Feel free to join. Like I said, it's free 99. So, we don't want to hear that, oh, we don't have money. You don't need money to join. So you join for free. We look forward to having y'all. I guess, so go ahead.
I was thinking of what we talked about a little earlier about some of the people who performed in ALD celebrations, people like Tupac, and I know that's just, you can look at that dialectically and say, oh, but Tupac, but it's just to say,
yeah,
when people celebrating since, this celebration began, since this day was acknowledged, because it's being celebrated in Germany, it's being celebrated all over the world. People understand the necessity for acknowledging our fight for liberation and the unification of Africa, because again, Africa divided, you got just so much of our problems, all of our problems are because of our dislocation of Africa. If we don't understand the unity aspect and the importance of all Africa to unite, we're going to continually just be distracted and deceived by all that's going on to just keep us individually isolated as opposed to collectively unified. So
exactly,
come through is what we're essentially just saying. Come through.
Right. Come through. Thanks for you. Thanks for you.
I mean, it's gonna be edutainment, like we said. So it's like, yeah, you'll have some time to dance, but you'll also be reading or listening along with people who've been involved in this struggle. And you couldn't find a better way to spend any holiday.
Yeah. Like it's definitely gonna be lit, man. Like I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, this is my first time, and I know it's gonna be, man. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah, like all the different orgs and stuff, and people that's gonna be a part of it. It's gonna be, man. It's gonna be beautiful to see. Just even in like, I don't know if you've been a part of that meetings or few meetings that you had in conjunction with the PAIGC. Man, just like little stuff like that we've done. It's like,
yeah, of course.
That stuff is like beautiful, man. Just like connecting with them, and as one of our sibling organizations, and man, I can imagine all the other organizations providing their insight and struggles and talking about Pan-African and worldwide unity. So Pan-Africanism and worldwide unity. So it's like, man, I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. So we could enjoy this, and hopefully, those who join in and not in the organization, hopefully this implores you to join one and be a part of the fight and not just stand, sit idly on the sidelines.
Right.
You guys could be in a fight with us to try to liberate Africa and make it free.
We can't do it without. I mean, we're building the party, and the whole point is to have as many Africans that are able to fight this fight. And it's not easy, but it's possible. And when you understand, when you have this political education, I say it's not easy, meaning it's not just like a gravy train with biscuit wheels where it's like, yeah, I'm in an organization, but you gotta actually read and study and, involve yourself in a process and allow yourself to really just understand the contradictions involved in everything, but also understand the importance of it. And it's like you mentioned, it's nothing more beautiful than to see the people actually at home in Africa, like the PAIGC, involved in this work still constantly, and understanding just the importance of this and why we're doing it, and just why it's necessary for us to be a part of a process. So like, yeah, like it's all about really connecting it to just what our ancestors have already done. We got the work already has been laid out before us. It's just about connecting the masses here and the snakes mainly. Because again, I mean, when we think of holidays, celebrate, people come through for like 4th of July. We come through for all these other corporate holidays, but we don't really think of the work that's been done for the little that we have now, and that was because of our ancestors' blood being shed. All of what we have has been through struggle, and so we gotta continue the work. And continuing the work don't have to be a detriment to any of us if we understand why we're doing it and we understand the importance of it. So I know we're sounding like we're saying the same thing, but the message is still the same, y'all. In terms of us, the importance of us to organize forward ever.
Yeah. Forward ever, backward never.
To worldwide Pan-African unity.
Yeah. And we definitely look forward to having y'all there. I can't say that enough, man, because I'm looking forward to going. So, man, I know it's going to be eventful. And, Jesse kind of set it off for me, man. He went in. Yeah, man, he went in. It's pretty much, everything he stated is as clear as day. Like, we gotta be in the struggle and understand the implications of what we're in as well. There's a lot of confusion and distortions out there. No matter, and I think that's one thing we always have to understand is that no matter what stage you are in the struggle, it still continues because you're always going to have those reactionary elements. Revolutionaries before us have said it, and it's true. We still see it today. Like, all the various states, on the continent, even though you look off the continent, all the struggles, that all the strides that we've made since our, the colonial times and even before then, we're still having to wage a lot of that stuff now because there's still reactionary elements within our various societies that we have to fight. So the struggle always is continuous. Kwame Ture even says it too. And, as being in the Nkrumah's Ture, it's like we always understand that, is that, the struggle continues forever. So we're always going to be in a fight. So let's be in a fight for justice and not in a fight for exploitation, for exploiting people or, to dominate other people. So I think it's important to understand that. And that's the importance of this event and this holiday is to understand that. And like Jesse was stating, is like, if you could spend time for the lie and so forth and so on, I was about to curse. People be out here celebrating Columbus Day and all this fearless holidays and stuff. It's like, come on, bro. Like, you could definitely spend time for African Liberation Day, man. Like, y'all could definitely do that, bro. So yeah. Same way, when we talk about organizing, it's like, you give these slaves these jobs, which, is also I refer to as a slave sometimes, but
I like the correlationship. Yeah, we spend a lot of time. That's a good point.
A lot of time. Yeah, at those jobs, like you spend all that time and effort. Your boss sees something, you like running and trying to get it done. But man, you could definitely, if you give all that time to these corporations, you could give like a few hours, a few days out the week or something like that, a day or two out the week, maybe. I know it's not applicable to everybody. Some people are in like dietary. Like, I'm not confused about how this capitalist system works, and some people have to work 2 or 3 jobs. But for those who are not in those predicaments and have, that leisure time at some points, you could spend some of that extra leisure time into organizing. So that's all we're saying.
Consider basically what, I just tell people, just consider the relationship of material, like the materials we have, how that is actually had, like what goes into the materials that we use, the people who are out there whose labor is being exploited. You think of that relationship, it just puts into context that none of this stuff is just given to us. It's not just like, it's not Disney. There's definitely there's exploitation going on, and look at it like that. You wanna understand it so that you can better correct it and awaken many others to that process, so that we don't think that we can somehow incorporate ourselves into the system, but understand that we have to essentially become conscious of the fact that there's an enemy and we must organize against it, and we need to be strategic. We got to be, involved in these processes to help better combat the constant 24/7 propaganda forces out there to just keep us dislocated from our mother, our Africa. Going back to Africa, like, we got to do the work. And thankfully, ALD, again, it's a day where we celebrate, we acknowledge this fight, and we're gonna continue to fight forward. Everyone's gonna stop. Going, because that's the only way. The life change. The material conditions of people change. Things evolve. We gotta
dialectics. Things are ever changing.
Yes.
I'm about to get you off.
Oh, no, you're good. That was just, I'm giving more like reminders of the same thing that people, I know, essentially come through for ALD.
Come through. But yeah, man, we definitely want y'all to pull up, come through, show up. Even if for a few minutes. Just for a few minutes, if you just have a few minutes to spare, if it's like, you're in the middle of doing something, like, show love, man, and we will definitely appreciate that. It's not just for us, it's for y'all. So, it's not like, you're not getting any money out of this, obviously. We put a lot of effort and time, like, you guys don't even know the amount of work we're doing, at least on our side, and all these other different orgs that are doing this and putting to make this an eventful day, and to celebrate this holiday. How much like resources and stuff it takes to pull these things off. So, we're not in this for money. We're in this.
Struggle is not done in a vacuum. There's a lot of work done. Exactly. Yeah, that's another. I know we mentioned that earlier, but it's worth repeating. Organizations like the A-APRP or any organization really. What ends up happening usually is a lot of people think it's one person that we talked about this also today. Like, even you think of Marcus Garvey and the UNIA, people just focus on Marcus Garvey, but we know, understandably, it was a mass organization, so it was the people. So this is not a focus to individuals, even though we honor the ancestors and started movements, started organizations. We understand, it's about the people. So we honor the people. We honor all of our ancestors, but we honor the people because this can't be done without the people.
Yeah, nothing can be done without the people. So, at least if you're, trying to be democratic, you understand that the people are the basis of everything. You can't do nothing without involving the people, unless, you're trying to run a dictatorship. Now, if you're trying to run a dictatorship, then maybe this ain't for you. if that's the society you're looking to seek for Africans, then this probably ain't for you. If you want to tell people that women can have autonomy over their body, or people can have autonomy over their body, or you want to tell people to denounce all the religions and stuff that they have, and they should believe whatever you believe, then that's you. Maybe this ain't for you. But if you want, Africans to have full autonomy, and live a free, liberated life, not under imperialism, patriarchy, capitalism, and all these oppressive systems, then definitely join us. We'd look to have you. If you're looking to learn, if you're new, you want to learn more about Pan-Africanism, you want to learn about setting up your own organization or joining an organization, we employ you to join too. So if you're African, just in general, we employ you to join. So we look forward to having y'all.
Absolutely. Come through.
My bad, I gotta sing that every time.
I know every time he says like come through.
I have to play that song after this. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, you have anything else you want to add? I know you said a lot in that. I know it's a short episode too, but it's really just to get y'all to come join LD. But is there any last words or anything else you want to say?
Well, I would encourage people to go to the website, africanliberationday.net, so you can keep up with the dates so that you can register for the event. And again, just come through, because that's what we do. And we want people to understand the importance of organization. Going back to the theme, forwards ever.
Yeah, backward never.
Forwards ever, backwards never. We understand. Africa must unite. It's not, once Africa is united, just imagine what that's going to mean for the world. And, we're in the belly of the beast here in the snakes. So if we can get our folks here to organize on a mass level, the enemy can stop us. So this is just a reminder that we must do that. And we can do that. We can look at the work that's already been done and just continue the work, because that's the only way. I mean, if you say you honor people like Malcolm X and you love people who have been fighters of your liberation, then the only way you can really show that is by participating in the same process, joining an organization. If you don't like any organization, start one of your own. But you got to do the work. You can't get away.
You got to do the work. The work has to be done. There's no escaping it. The work has to be. Do you think the Democratic Party and the Republican Party ain't doing the work?
Right, they doing the work.
These fascists and imperialists ain't doing work. You think they're just sitting back and just all the surveillance and AFRICOM and all? You think that stuff don't take work? Like, you gonna have to do the work too to liberate us. So you play your part. You know what I mean? They play their part. We're gonna have to play our part.
We gotta play our part. Back to I like how you mentioned that. A lot of people don't even look at it like that. Like, they think it's going by the way. It's like, no, this is a well-oiled machine necessarily to, it's 24/7. It's constant. They have to involve every institution in its power to deceive the masses. So with that type of active consciousness, we in the same way must be actively involved and aware and alert of the many ways we're being oppressed. And that's the only way we're going to do that is if we join the collective, join an organization.
Join an organization. So with that being said, we thank y'all for listening. We hope to see y'all at African Liberation Day. And hope y'all enjoy it and take something from it and go from there. And, until then, we it's forward ever. And look forward to catching you on the next episode next week. Forward ever, y'all.